So you might have seen some headlines floating around saying Nikon is suing Viltrox in China. And naturally the internet went, oh no, are third-party Z lenses about to disappear? But the real story is actually way more interesting and a bit less dramatic than people think, thankfully. If you're new here, my name is Kieran Hayes and I'm a professional photographer from West Cork, Ireland, and I regularly do videos on all things Nikon and of course accessories that go with Nikon cameras. So this naturally had me a bit worried and concerned when I heard it. Now, I also think it should have all Nikon shooters slightly worried, even if you never shoot third-party lenses. Look at what Canon did with third-party lens manufacturers and how a good few users jump ship to Sony and Nikon as a result. Now, I am not saying Nikon is going to do this, and yes, it's important to watch the full video, and after you do, I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this. And I genuinely do think, as Nikon shooters, we all have a slight voice here that needs to be heard. So please do let me know where you stand on this in the comments down below. So what exactly is this court case about? Let's start with what's confirmed, not rumours and not Reddit posts. Nikon has filed a lawsuit in China. The case is being handled by the Shanghai Intellectual Property Court. The hearing is scheduled for March 2nd, 2026. And yes, Viltrox is one of the defendants. But here's the really important part. This is not a normal patent infringement lawsuit. Most people hear patent lawsuits and think, oh no, bans, injunctions, products being pulled from shelves. That's not what the case is about. The official legal claim is something called, and I'm not joking, temporary protection period usage fee dispute. Try saying that fast after a few pints of Guinness. Here's what that means in normal language. In China, when a company files an invention patent, there's a weird middle period as the patent is published, but it's not granted yet. During that time, other companies are technically allowed to keep making products, but once the patent is officially granted, the patent holder can come back and say, hey, you used this invention during that patent window. So now you owe me money. Pay up. That's exactly what Nikon is claiming here. This is not Nikon asking the court to ban Viltrox lenses tomorrow. It's about fees, not shutdowns. There are three defendants. There's Viltrox, which is the brand and manufacturer, a related Shenzhen company, and a Shanghai-based distributor. This is all actually pretty normal in Chinese IP cases. It lets the court cover manufacturing and sales under one case. What we still don't know, and this is where a lot of online articles go off the rails, what exactly or which exact Nikon patent is involved, or which Viltrox lenses, how much money Nikon is asking for, or whether licensing talks are happening behind the scenes already. A lot of people assume this is about the Z-mount autofocus protocol, and honestly it probably is, and that's a reasonable guess. But as of right now, it's still only speculation. So should all Nikon users be seriously worried? The short answer is probably not. There's no sign of firmware lockouts, there's no lens bans announced, there's no recall notices. If anything, cases like this usually end in one of two ways. The first is a licensing agreement or a settlement payment. Now, as of yet, Viltrox has no license to use the Nikon Z-mount system and their protocols. You see, normally companies enter into a license agreement and they get the protocols so their lenses can communicate perfectly with Z-mount bodies, like Tamron and Sigma did. But Viltrox reversed engineered the Nikon Z protocols to make their lenses work on Z-mount bodies. Now, is that the same thing? Not really, and if they had the official protocol, it could possibly make the Viltrox lenses autofocus work even better. Now, why this case still matters and why I said it could affect every Nikon shooter is, even though this isn't dramatic, it is important. If we look at Sigma and Tamron, they are both licensed manufacturers, but we don't know the conditions behind those licenses. Like, are they limited on the focal lengths they can make and how much they pay per lens for this license? Again, there are tons of rumours saying they can't make specific focal lengths or compete directly with Nikon products, which in fairness does kind of look like it's true. So my slight fear, if you can call it that, is that Nikon will put pressure on Viltrox with this case to get them into a licensing agreement. And this could be bad news for all of us. As you see, it could force Viltrox to not directly compete with Nikon. So the likes of the 135 f1.8 lens for $999 or the 35 f1.2 lens for $899 and many other great lenses could slowly be pulled from manufacturing. Or their prices could go up significantly also. This, I fear, is Nikon's endgame. Otherwise, why pull this lawsuit now? Is it because Viltrox are now starting to seriously compete with Nikon's top glass for less than 1/3 of the retail cost? And the scary part is there's even more lenses coming from Viltrox soon. Personally, I've always been fond of third-party lenses, as I remember all too well when I started off, I had no money at all and I ended up buying second-hand, well-used lenses at petrol stations of all places. So for me, third-party lenses were always a great gateway for new photographers or people on a budget to get great products at a reasonable price. Hence, that's one of the reasons I review a lot of them on this channel. I haven't forgotten my roots at all. I only wish when I started off, lenses like this were available at the time. Now, I'm fully aware Nikon probably won't like this video, but I felt I had to say something and hopefully get the discussion going. And if they do see it, they might even read the comments. Who knows? Just so we are clear, I fully understand the company's right to their intellectual property and that they need to protect that. I fully support them there. But my fear is there could be less competition, and competition in a marketplace, as we all know, is a good thing. Look at it this way, if the Viltrox 135mm f1.8 is only 90% as good as the Nikon Plana, let's not argue about that, I'm just making up numbers here now, then they will sell a lot of them, especially at 1/3 of the price. But how soon before they get a lens as good or even better? And then what price will that be? Even if it's twice the price of the current model, it's still going to be an awful lot cheaper than the Plana lens. And for me, I think this is what has Nikon worried. So Viltrox could be doing all the Nikon-only shooters a favour, as let's face it, Nikon will have to reduce their prices then, or just not sell lenses. So that's where this is good news for everyone. Competition is truly vital for us consumers. Now, I also know there are a lot of people who will have the idea this is all cheap Chinese rubbish. But let me tell you, as someone that has stripped open hundreds of cameras and lenses professionally, that these lenses are incredibly well built, and those days are long gone now. I'm not trying to change anyone's mind, just again sharing my experiences here. So in short, I think Nikon are protecting their market share of Pro Series lenses, which is of course understandable. But as photographers and as consumers also, we don't want to end out in a situation like the Canon shooters had, and they had practically zero third-party lens options. So I think it's only right that this is discussed, and fingers crossed this won't happen. But if it does, then the decision will be made. So this is my tiny way of maybe bending someone's ear in the odd chance it might just ever so slightly change the direction this could go in. Who knows, maybe Nikon will buy Viltrox. Think about it. There could be a deal done here. So what happens next? Well, the big date to watch is March 2nd, 2026, when the Shanghai IP Court holds the hearing. After that, we should finally learn which patent is involved and, more importantly, what Nikon is actually asking for and whether this moves towards settlement or licensing. I, for one, would personally hope for a settlement, as I think for Nikon shooters, this would be a win. So yeah, if you shoot Nikon, use Viltrox or care about third-party lenses in general, this is definitely one to keep an eye on. I would honestly love to hear your thoughts, as I've already aired mine for Nikon to see, but I'm just one person. So please do let me know your thoughts on this, as this could very well seriously affect all our pockets going forward. Now, I have to say, it's kind of perfect timing, as I'll be at the photography show in Birmingham in March. And we should know more by then. So yes, Nikon, if you are watching this video, the Mad Irishman will be there again, asking me loads of questions about sending me stuff out for review. And heck, if Nikon say no, I might even go ask Sony if they'll do it. I just can't keep buying stuff at this rate. So yeah, as always, thanks again for watching, and don't forget to let me know your thoughts on this, and see you out there, or see you in the next video.